Coming at you from the AO Studios, it's the Fade Route with D and Z. Here are your hosts, D and Z.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Coming at you live from the AO Studio.
Ayo.
It's the Fade Route with D and Z. I am D, and we've got a great show for you tonight. Team USA practices. Yankees are sliding, and the MLB All-Stars are set. But we begin today's show with Team USA basketball.
Yay.
Started practicing and getting ready for the Olympics next month. Anthony Edwards believes the offense should run through him if the team wants to capture gold. Is Anthony Edwards right? Will he even start on this team?
Well, we had this conversation in our production meeting, right? Who do you start? Who is your starting five? What do you value if you're Team USA? Do you value the young guns who are going to give you energy and who are going to give you that spark? Or do you value the veteran savvy? With the veteran savvy, however, comes a lot of questions about health and load management. Because you're looking at, in no uncertain terms, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant doesn't have a clean medical history, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron doesn't have a clean bill of health. Yeah, that's a lot. That's an absolute lot.
I heard
now,
Kawhi Leonard looks fantastic. That's what 3 months off will do for you.
That's what playing for the Clippers will do for you. Like, I look fantastic. I haven't played in forever. This is awesome. It's awesome. But in the same light, you know, Devin Booker's nice and rested too. Phoenix was bounced early too. So there you go. You got that. Now, you know, you got a good mix here. You definitely have a good mix. But that creates a logjam at positions because you're looking at LeBron, Kawhi, Jayson Tatum. You're looking at Drew Holiday and Anthony Edwards. You're looking at Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Drew Holiday. You know, Steph, is he going to be like your Tony Kukoc off the bench? Or is he going to be the guy that's going to be starting at your 2? Or are you going to play Anthony Edwards off the ball, have him be your 2? Or are you going to have Tyrese Halliburton be your 2? There are a lot of questions here, and there's a lot of overlap. Now, that provides a lot of interest. And frankly, it's tough. It's absolutely tough. Because when we were talking about it in our production meeting, it's like, okay, do you start Embiid, right? Because who else are you going to start? Anthony Davis? Like, no, you got to start Embiid. So do you put Davis at your 4? And do you go like, do you go Rudy Gobert Cat situation? Or do you go Embiid Durant? If you're going scoring wise, you got to go Durant. So now, I mean, you're not going to start LeBron. So you're looking at Embiid, Durant, LeBron. So that it leaves you with Embiid, Durant, LeBron, Steph, because it's Steph. And then who's your point guard? Drew Holiday is the only true point guard here, right? Am I crazy in making that statement? Like, you have Booker, who's a combo guard. He's better off the ball. Tyrese Halliburton, better off the ball. Anthony Edwards, better off the ball. Drew Holiday, in my opinion, and take that for what it's worth, you know, but in my opinion, Drew Holiday is the lone point guard on this roster. The lone true point guard. So that's what's probably going to start. But you know what? If I'm Anthony Edwards, I should be lobbying to start. I should absolutely be believing in my own talent. And I should absolutely believe all this shit that I'm talking.
Smell all your shit.
You do. You smell all your shit. It smells like roses. And like, this is what we're going with, man. Like, this is what I'm, you know, That's the American way. You fake it till you make it. You buy your own bullshit until you believe it. So I gotta say, like, I wouldn't mind seeing him start. I personally wouldn't mind seeing Bam Adebayo start. Like, Bam Adebayo is a tough son of a bitch. He will get down there. He will do the dirty work. And the other thing that Bam Adebayo has is a healthy body. I don't trust Anthony Davis. I don't trust Joel Embiid. I don't trust LeBron James. I don't trust Kawhi Leonard at this point in their careers. So this could end up being a very long, if everything breaks wrong, this could be a very long Olympic tournament for these guys. If everything breaks right, almost a guaranteed gold medal in terms of talent level. So
I think it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, but the best
might be
of the U.S.
talented, might be the most talented team you've had in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably since the Redeem team. I would say probably since the Redeem team. But
the Redeem team was what, the Kobe, Dwayne Wade, that monster squad, right?
LeBron, all of them. Yeah. So I think you do have to sprinkle some of the kids in, though. And kids, you're looking at Jayson Tatum, 26. He's a grown ass man. I think you kind of have to start, putting some of these guys in there.
So
but
what's your 5?
My 5, I'm thinking the starting 5 is going to be like the star-studded 5. You're looking at Embiid, KD, LeBron, Steph, and probably Drew Holiday. Like I would say that's the only question mark. Would be like, that's the only one I'm not totally confident in on name recognition and star power alone.
So world champion Jayson Tatum on the bench.
Are you going to sit 39-year-old legend LeBron James? Are you doing that? Are you that guy?
If I'm going to be honest with you, we have the same starting 5 line for line. But here's what I would argue. This is the argument. Okay. So we do have the same starting 5, but
okay.
I think when push comes to shove, on the closing out games, or I need to win, I need buckets, I'm going with Steph, Booker, Kawhi, Tatum, and Davis.
Interesting.
That gives me offense, that gives me defense, that gives me youth, that gives me everything I need. So in a closeout, I'm trying to finish a team off, or I'm trying to preserve a lead. That's who I'm going with. But with the starters, the starting lineup is Drew Holiday. He's a 6'4" guard who could play defense and deliver the basketball, knows how to cut to the basket. Steph Curry is still one of the best shooters in the game. LeBron James, it's LeBron James. He gets to, it's like Michael Jordan. He starts. It doesn't matter. Kevin Durant is still the Slim Reaper. Like he's still going to be able to shoot. He's lengthy. He's going to be able to get his hands up on some smaller guys. And Joel Embiid is my center, my enforcer, and he can shoot. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And and the interesting thing is I don't have Anthony Edwards on either squad. He's a sub. That's all he is on my team. Halliburton's a sub. That's all he is. Bam's a sub. The 2 guys ahead of him are better than him. So, and as far as I'm concerned, the offense when it's to start the game, the offense runs through Curry. We're gonna get him going. We're gonna get him looks. Because let him shoot, we'll get the rebound. Ain't nobody getting rebounds on this group. And then in the closeout, the offense runs through Jayson Tatum. He just won the championship. He thinks he's an elite player now. Yeah, go for it, man. You're the best. You won it this year. Keep on trucking. Show them. And Kawhi. I'd throw Kawhi in there too to close out because you could trust him with the basketball.
There's no way in hell with those egos, because this is the all-ego team right here. Like, there is no way that LeBron is going to be like, okay. Like, that's...
On what?
Hold on. On not being the guy. Like, okay. Like,
I don't agree with that. I think LeBron has always been about making the basketball play. He's not like Kobe. He's going to shoot it with 4 guys on him. He makes the basketball play. he knows how to he knows how to play with Steph Curry. I think him playing with Steph is going to be really fun to watch, actually, because he's not never, but he hasn't had a guard with this shooting ability in a really long time. So no, I disagree. I don't think LeBron understands his body, understands his point in his career, and I don't think he's going to be like, no, I get the ball, I get to shoot, and I'm going to take 25 shots. I don't think that's LeBron. Maybe Durant, but not LeBron.
No, I think it's all of them because they're all stars.
Really? You really feel that way? I
do.
I don't feel that way about Tatum. Tatum don't even shoot when he's on the Celtics. He goes 0 for
like you said, Tatum's not going to play. Tatum is not going to play.
No, Tatum I think will play. I don't think Edwards, Halliburton, and Bam are going to play. Those are the guys that are like.
And those are the guys who probably should play. Like that's the thing. Like if you're looking at it, out of those three, Bam Adebayo is gonna play.
He's gonna play, but I'm saying it's not like I'm gonna have to try to work him in, right? I think Embiid and Anthony Davis are my top centers. They're gonna get the most burn, and Bam will try to work him in. Same thing with Edwards. It's like, dude, I don't really need you. Like, what are you bringing that these other guys don't bring to the game? Like, and you're already talking about how the offense should run through you. I don't need to deal with that shit. Like, dude, sit here. I'll get you in when I get a chance, man. And Halliburton's another guy. It's like, I'm glad you're here. You know, give some guys a blow, but I'm going to really find a place for you. Who are you playing over? Unless someone gets hurt or unless someone's tired. Like,
that's
sorry.
Steph. That's Steph. Like, he's
really?
logically, he's a 2 guard. Like, where are you going to go? You're going to replace a 2 guard. So you're not, that's just logically where he goes.
But he doesn't bring. His game is not Steph's game. Like, he's not that kind of a shooter.
Steph is the only legit shooter on this team. Like, he's the only guy who's I would say catch and shoot. He's the best of the bunch. You're going to get it from Durant. You'll get some of it from LeBron. But, like, you're not replacing Steph.
Booker could shoot.
Yeah. And he's all right.
He could shoot. He's like, out of 100, he's like an 88. He could shoot. I mean, come on. Devin Booker could shoot.
Yeah, no. This is going to be way too many cooks in the kitchen, still only one basketball, and it's going to be exactly what it's always been with the United States when it comes to basketball. Like, you need to figure out, like, the fact that we're having this question says enough about it. You know, like, it implies, the implication is that there are multiple guys who are going to want this. There are multiple guys who think how Anthony Edwards thinks. The problem is that Anthony Edwards has not mastered the inside voice. Like, dude, they're not stupid enough to say it. Like, that's the thing. Like, they may think it, and I'm sure they do. Like, you wouldn't be a superstar athlete if you didn't think that the ball should go through you. Like,
yeah. I mean, I guess so. But I mean, Michael might have thought it, but he didn't say it. He let everybody else say it. He let Larry say it, and he let Magic say it. I don't know. Ooh. But during the media session, Steph Curry mentioned how the Warriors would likely be the last dynasty in the NBA because it's hard to keep good players together for long stretches of time. Do you agree with his assessment?
Well, let's see. He definitely has a point in terms of keeping teams together. Now, why is it difficult to keep teams together? Eventually, guys are going to want their own team. Like, they're going to want to prove that they can do it on their own. That's just normal human behavior, right? Kyrie wanted to prove he can do it on his own. Ultimately, didn't. But he wanted to try and prove it on his own, that he could do it on his own.
You really feel that way? I feel like everyone has been, the last couple of years, everyone's been really leaning into those.
This is when he was bitching about LeBron. Like, when LeBron left. Tried to do it on his own. And that caused a rift. That definitely caused a rift between them. That LeBron has just really started to kind of, when he was speaking wistfully about their time together, that he's trying to mend some fences there. But there were definitely some hurt feelings there, and there was definitely a a little chip on Kyrie's shoulder, like, yeah, you're going to leave me? Fuck you. I'm going to win something. Ultimately, it didn't work. But, it's there. So salary cap wise, financially, it's very difficult to keep teams together. Ego makes it very difficult to keep teams together. And, it's one of those things that the format's changing too. So the Warriors in seasons past, now we have the play-in tournament. Would the Warriors have dipped into the play-in tournament at some point? Like, could we have seen the San Antonio Spurs, right, of, Parker, Duncan, and Ginobili? Could they have gotten picked off by a hot team that ran through the play-in tournament? Like, these things, the landscape of the game is changing, and it's changing underneath everybody's feet. So it's going to be the last dynasty for a while. Eventually, I think teams are going to kind of figure it out, but they're also going to need to figure out the salary cap. They're going to need to figure out that, I need to pay everybody. Like, in order to keep these teams together, I need to pay everybody to keep everybody happy. Right? And you also need to keep reinfusing new blood. The Warriors would still be successful if Bob Myers successfully reinforced this team with young players. Would you agree with that statement? If James Wiseman hit, or if, Jonathan Kuminga, if he hit, like, this would still be a continuing dynasty.
I think Kuminga's good.
Yeah, but is he, like, ready, if Steph left today, Jonathan Kuminga is not going to fill that role.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody can fill that role, though.
Right. Now, you're looking at Andrew Wiggins. You traded for Andrew Wiggins. Didn't exactly do what you hoped. So, it's not just keeping your stars happy. It's reinforcing the bench, and it's making sure that the future is solidified so that the present will also be taken care of. It's a fine and delicate balance. Now, who's the next dynasty going to be? It's hard to say, because at the end of the day, you need star power, right? Dynasty implies star power. Mm-hmm. Showtime Lakers, the Celtics, the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. You have the big three from the Celtics. Noticing a pattern here. The Bad Boy Pistons, Jordan's Bulls from the 90s. Like, you have a certain level of star power, but then you also have the other guys who fill their roles and play them well and don't try and do too much and try and stay within themselves. So it's a generational thing. We just talked about it with the Olympic roster. Guys fancy themselves stars, even if they're not. Even if they're not. Even if they're good role players and they're getting paid as if they're stars. You mentioned last week OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby is a very good player. OG Anunoby is not worth the contract that he just signed. Isaiah Hartenstein was a very good player for the Knicks last year. Not worth $30 million. Like, the price tag has just gotten out of control. So until teams and players kind of get this under control, I do agree with Steph that the Warriors are going to be the last dynasty for a while. But there will be another one in the future, just not yet.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the NBA is all about dynasties. I mean, if you think about since the 80s, we've had runs. We've had, like you said, the Bulls, the Lakers. We had the Warriors, the Heat. So I disagree with you. I think Boston could totally go on a run right now. They only lost 18 games this past season. They're bringing everybody back. Everybody's signed. So they have a chance to be a dynasty. They could definitely do 3 in 4 years or 3 in 5 years. Another team that I think is capable is the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think they're coming. I think Presti has built himself a winner there. I think they're going to compete for the next 5 to 6 years. I wouldn't close the door on Denver. I think Denver can come back. They need to make some roster moves, but they're definitely capable. They'll be in the running to win the next 2 years. So that'd be 3 and 4 years they could possibly pull off. And you know what? Do not sleep on the Spurs. I mean, Spurs have Wemby, and Wemby just finished his first year. He's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a force to be reckoned with for the next several years. And I think if their GM can put some players around him, they already got Chris Paul. I don't know what the hell that means, but you know, and I'm just saying, like, it's not out of the realm of possibility for teams to compete for multiple championships in the NBA today. I do agree with you that it's harder, but it's harder on the GM. It's harder on the guy who's got to make moves and make trades. That's who it's really hard on. And you've got to be able to know when Dame Lillard is time for him to go, it's time for him to go. You got to know when Kyrie's not working out, Kyrie's got to go. You got to know when James Harden's not working out, it's time to go. You got to know when Paul George scoffs at your contract offer, it's time for Paul George to go. So it just comes down to that. But dynasties and teams winning multiple championships, there's never parity in the NBA, and I think that's good for the NBA. I think the NBA benefits from there not being parity. I think parity in the NBA could really hurt the sport.
Well, I don't know about that. Like, there's a clear haves and have-nots. You're absolutely right. Like, there's the Lakers, there's the Celtics, there's the Heat, there are the Warriors, you have the Bucks, you have that clear level, and then you have a bunch of other teams. So it's one of those things. I mean, the last repeat team was almost 7 seasons ago. The last time you had repeat championships was almost 7 seasons ago. So that's some
Warriors.
It was the Warriors, yeah, 17, 18. So, like, there's something to be said about that. Like, there is
to be honest with you, the only reason why that slowed down, it didn't have to do with money. It had to do with they were fucking tired. Like, they all got hurt. Clay got hurt. Steph was hurt. Durant got hurt. They all got hurt. That's why that ended. And then Green and Durant got into a fight, and Durant's like, I'm out of here. Otherwise, if Durant stayed there, shit, they would have probably won at least 2 more.
Well, I mean, who are you picking off at that point? You're looking at... All right, you're looking at the 2019. That's when we're going to be looking at. They made it back to the finals. They lost to the Raptors that year. So they won. They made it to the finals 3 straight seasons. So even with all that turmoil, they lost to Kawhi and the Raptors. Then you're looking at...
they were shot. Clay tore his ACL in that fucking series, and then didn't Durant tore his Achilles, right?
They never made it back. Yeah, that was it. That was the swan song, and then you had the bubble. So, And then you're looking at that. You're looking at Giannis got his. The Warriors made it back. And then you got the Nuggets and you got the Celtics. This is where the NBA is right now. It's very difficult to repeat because you have so many good teams at the top, and then you have a lot of bottom feeders. There's no clear in between. Like you have the Utah Jazzes, you have the Cavs, who are just kind of on that treadmill of mediocrity, and then you have franchises like the Orlando Magic, who are finally good. We'll see what happens next year, but the Magic are finally good. The Sacramento Kings got out of the wilderness. We'll see if they're gonna be on that treadmill of mediocrity. But then you have franchises who are the dog shit on the bottom of your shoe, the Detroit Pistons.
Sorry, folks,
the Detroit Pistons. My apologies. The 2004 Pistons were fantastic. I love that. If they wanted to make a Disney movie out of it, I would watch it. But at the end of the day, that was it. That was the last non-superstar laden team to win a championship, right? You had, if you want to call Rasheed Wallace your star of that team, I would argue it was Rip Hamilton, but that was really a team concept. that was really a team concept on that team. So, but now you're in a situation where you're on your third coach in 3 years. Cade Cunningham just signed an extension. He's making 30% of the salary cap. That's the other thing. Like, you have contracts here where you have players, one player monopolizing 30% of your salary cap. So there's greed. Like we mentioned greed. That's important. Health is another thing. And then, at some point, ego. It's just a matter of time. But, Steph is on his way out. And I'm sure he can look at that and kind of think back on what could have been and how many he could have gotten. But it's hard to navigate. And you're right. It's like GMs, it's almost impossible to navigate because you're dealing with the present while managing the future.
You can't help but smile when you see a balloon. PopstarsBalloons.com offers spectacular balloon decor for all of life's events, specializing in custom balloon creations and installations for private events, corporate and school functions, photo shoots, brand events, and fundraisers. Led by certified balloon artists, the Popstars Balloon team shape balloons into custom works of art. Popstar Balloons provides full concept balloon design, build and installation services, as well as pre-assembled decor pieces available for pickup or delivery. Popstar Balloons is a woman-owned, small family business focused on providing professional balloon services using only high-quality, 100% biodegradable natural latex balloons made in the US and Italy. They consistently prioritize the safest use and handling of balloons in a sustainable and responsible manner. Popstars Balloons is located in Westchester County, New York, but likes to party at events throughout New York City, Connecticut, Long Island, and New Jersey. Popstars Balloons can also accommodate balloon decor services for destination events. No event too big, no event too small, and their custom personalization service is the perfect touch. They also offer a full line of event decor options like backdrop, prop rentals, tablescapes, dessert table setups, custom signs, and they always deliver with a smile. Whether you're looking for gift balloons, classic decor, or large-scale design for a big impact, Popstars Balloons will create the perfect decor for your theme, vibe, and space. So if you have an idea in mind or need inspiration, Popstars Balloons decor will be the cutting edge and spectacular. Visit popstarballoons.com to pop your next event.
But speaking of managing the future while balancing the present, Jayson Tatum has he's weighed in on what elite status is for an NBA player. So, as you know, Jayson Tatum won a championship with the Celtics, and he believes that one championship gets him a seat at the table of elite players. So, is he onto something, or has the bar been set so low in the NBA that one championship earns you elite status?
No, especially the route they took. Like I said, I do think the Celtics team was a very good team. I just think that if they went up against healthy teams and healthy players, I don't know if they really would have won the championship. So no, I think Jayson Tatum has to do a lot more, and he's saying this, and he wasn't even the MVP of the series. Right. Now, granted, I do think that he didn't get enough credit for all the work he did do in the series. I mean, he played defense on everybody. He played it on the center, he played on the power forward, he played on the point guard. Like, he was rotating around. Even though Jaylen Brown actually won, the MVP. But no, I think he's in the conversation of very good. I wouldn't put Jayson Tatum as an elite, but I do think he has another gear. I do think that he could be like a Kobe. I think he has that talent. He certainly has that height. He's 6'10", for God's sake. Who's blocking his shot? Who's stopping him from going to the basket? I think if he puts the work in, he really could be elite. But he's definitely not elite just after one championship.
He's in the conversation with Dirk, as far as I'm concerned. Like, Dirk only has one. So, like, come on now. Would you say Dirk was an elite player?
Hold on a second. What Dirk did does not compare to what Tatum did. Dirk went through Kobe, he went through Durant, and then he went through LeBron and that whole team. What Dirk did to win his championship, boom, elite, amazing. Bought his jersey because of that shit. Like that was the most impressive thing. He shot like 78% from the field. He was like 90% from free throws. He went to the basket. He shot threes. He shot fadeaways. He played defense. He ran the floor. He dunked. He laid up. He did everything you could imagine in that series. So yes, what Dirk did, that got him to elite status for sure. But not this guy. Not yet.
You mean you're not impressed by picking off the Dallas Mavericks and then picking off the Indiana Pacers, who picked off the New York Knicks, who picked off the injured Philadelphia 76ers, and the Pacers that picked off the injured Bucks? You mean that doesn't impress you at all? It doesn't impress you at all? Not even a little bit? It doesn't impress me either. I'm sorry. Like, that's it. Jayson Tatum's 1 is very nice. That's great. That's wonderful. You get to see it at the kids' table. Right? Now, you're looking at, who's the true elite in current basketball. I'm not talking Magic. I'm not talking Larry Bird. I'm like, those guys are in rarefied air. They're in their own conversation.
Who would I consider an elite basketball player right now?
You got to start with
NBA?
Steph, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Sure.
Klay Thompson?
Yeah. Oh, man, such a great shooter.
Okay. Jokic, Jamal Murray, like what would that,
Yeah,
they've only got one. They only got one. Same as Tatum.
I think for what the Joker is able to do every night and what he was able to do in the series last year and what he brings to the table, yeah, I think he is, but I don't think Jamal Murray is.
Yeah, so you got to be pretty damn special.
I think Kawhi is elite.
Kawhi's an elite defender. I'll give you that.
I don't think Paul George is elite.
No. Paul George is not elite.
I don't think James Harden's elite.
Nope. Chris Paul. No.
I would. Chris Paul's. Thank God you didn't call him CP3. Don't call him. I'm about to start calling him Christopher Paul. I think Kyrie Irving's elite. He's elite. He's an elite ball handler. He's probably the best ball handler in the league. He's incredible what he's able to do, and he's got a chip, and he's gotten to one without LeBron, which I think was important.
Right.
And he hit some clutch shots when they beat the Warriors after being down 3-1. So yeah, I would consider Kyrie Irving elite. So
then, what do these people have in common? They're all a well-rounded kind of like the rarefied air guys. Like, of all of them, like.
They've done something rare, right? They've done something rare, right? They
have an appreciable skill that's better than everybody else.
Yeah. Exactly.
What is Jayson Tatum's skill that he's appreciably better than everybody?
Yeah, I don't see it yet, but there's potential there. He could be. I think he definitely has the ability to be there, but he's not there after one championship. He didn't even win the MVP in the Eastern Conference Finals, man. Like, you didn't even pick up that fucking trophy.
No, that was
Jaylen Brown. Back. Yeah, you got to come back and be the clear-cut leader of your team. Even fucking Jason Kidd's like, well, Jaylen Brown's the best player in their team. Like, he's calling you out. That didn't change anything either. So, no, I don't think. No, I think he could be.
Would you consider Giannis elite?
His size is just a problem, right? It's just. Yeah. I don't think he's a good shooter, and I don't think he's a good well-rounded basketball player, but his length and his size just presents a real problem. So I wouldn't call him elite. I wouldn't call him elite. I wouldn't even call Joel Embiid elite. No.
I agree with you on that.
We've seen it. But if he was to win and get the MVP, and he has the ability to be there, he's just not there.
No, he's not. He's also 26. Like, to your point, like, you think he has another year. I think he has another 13 more years in the league. to kind of demonstrate whether or not he is elite. And, you know, like when it's all said and done, like it'll prove out one way or the other. But if you look at history, that's why we have
worry
these
that
arguments.
he doesn't. I worry about his mindset where he's already thinking he's elite, like he's got nothing else to prove.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Jordan felt he had something to prove every night. You know. Oh, you want to give Karl Malone the MVP trophy? Not a problem.
You want to cut me from my junior high basketball team? Like, there you go. Like, he took a chip.
You think Clyde Drexler's the best 2 guard in the NBA? Okay. Cool.
You didn't like Space Jam? Okay.
Just didn't say anything. Just went out there and busted people's asses. Like, so that's the only thing is like, you know, even when you would ask Jordan if he was the best in the game, he's like, that's not for me to decide. It's not for me to decide. You know,
and it's not.
I got something to prove to myself.
But it speaks to the generational divide that we were talking about before with guys like Anthony Edwards. Like, these guys come up smelling their own shit and they believe it. Exactly. Like, I mean, think about LeBron. LeBron has been getting his ass kissed since he was, 14? Maybe younger. About that. Like, only recently has LeBron really started to kind of lean into the GOAT thing. He was very deferential. He is very deferential to other people. So there is a grace to LeBron. Yet, do I think he's an egomaniac? Absolutely. Do I think he's I
think he thinks he's the best player in the game. I've heard him say that on
many occasions. But he is deferential to other people, though. Like, he's not coming out here saying, I'm elite. Like, you know, that those words have never escaped his lips. So he knows how to play the media game. And this shows that Jayson Tatum still has a ways to go to learn how to deal with the media. And this is going to be a masterclass because he's going to get to be with really great media people, right? He's going to learn from LeBron. He's going to learn from Steph. He's going to learn, you know, from Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard doesn't say a fucking thing. Like, Kawhi Leonard has mastered the art of saying nothing. Like, that's good for him. So, like, there's your learning tree right there. So he's got like 13, 14 years left on this thing, and then we will be able to decide for sure. But in that time, lots can happen, right? Lots can absolutely happen. The Boston Celtics can bottom out. The Boston Celtics can win 5 championships. We don't know. But Jayson Tatum can get fucking traded. Like, he can get traded tomorrow. Like, that's baseball, Susan. Or in this case, that's basketball, Susan. Do you love brownies? Of course you love brownies. And if you're looking for delicious gourmet handcrafted brownies, then look no farther than Sweet Life Brownie Co. Chef Tommy D and the crew offer a dozen delicious delights that you will crave. From the classic OB, to Dutch Apple, to my personal favorite cookie jar, Red Velvet, and many more. Check out their Instagram at sweetlifebrownie_co for their Friday brownie drops. Every Friday at noon, you see what they're making. Or give them a call at 845-641-3043 and tell them a D&Z sent you. That's sweetlifebrownie_co on Instagram, Sweet Life Brownie Co on Facebook, 845-641-3043. Sweet Life Brownie Co. Because there's always room for a brownie. But speaking of baseball, the Yankees have lost 7 of their last 10 and 3 out of 4 to the Red Sox over the weekend. Oh my God, that was atrocious. Clay Holmes had the pleasure of trying to close the game out on Friday, gave up a 2-run bomb in the 9th inning, allowing Boston to tie the game in the 9th and then win it in extras.
He's an all-star, Dave.
All-star Clay Holmes. That's right, we gotta put some respect on his name. So if you're Brian Cashman, what's your next move? How much time you got?
Start looking at where I'm going to be vacationing in October. Look up some all-inclusives in Jamaica.
Oh, jeez.
What can you do? Honestly, what can you do? Gleyber Torres is a waste of life. Like, there's no value there. I don't even know why DJ LeMahieu's playing. He's batting 190. All he does now is hit weak grounders. He can't hit home runs anymore. I don't know what happened to that guy, but he's shot. You're gonna have to put Gil in the bullpen soon because you're gonna ruin his arm. Rodon is showing who he is.
Yeah.
What can you do? Maybe bring up the prospects. Maybe get lucky. I like the kid Rice. I think he's got some moxie. I think he plays well. But honestly, Z, if you are any team that goes to play the Yankees, walk up to your pitcher and go, okay, don't pitch to Soto, don't pitch to Judge, get everybody else out. How? There's no recipe for that's better than that. Volpe's come back to life. He's come back to earth. He's batting 250. Like, pitch to everybody else. They got Verdugo in the 5 spot. He's batting 246. Like, come on. Not afraid of anybody in this lineup. It's like last year. Just get through the bulk of the guys, and then the rest of it's cake. You're not going to beat the Baltimore Orioles. Hell, the Red Sox is really good. I mean, I know it was just one series, but they got young guys.
They're 9 games over 500.
You don't even know their names, but they're playing really good. Hawk made the All-Star team. Devers is hitting dingers and bombs.
Yeah. I don't
Jansen's
think
their
Devers
closer.
didn't make the All-Star team.
No, he did. He just can't go because of his shoulder. He made it. Jensen's climb. I mean, I don't like Jensen, but he's climbing up the all-time records for saves. Like, if you're saying, okay, what roster would I rather have for the future? Would I rather have the Yankees roster or the Red Sox roster? I think the Red Sox roster is more appealing because their guys are just younger. You don't have a bomb like Stanton in your lineup. Like Stanton, he's hurt too. He can't even play right now.
No, he's hurt. He's out.
So now I'm starting to look up where I'm gonna go. What am I gonna do? This offseason, you're just not gonna be able. I mean, listen, it's July, and their pitching has been shit the last 2 weeks, but I do believe that they have good starting pitching. Their middle relief and their closers are trash, but they do have starting pitching. So maybe that's the one thing you do. Maybe you go out there and try to fleece like the White Sox or the Marlins, get a middle reliever, get a closer. Clay Holmes is not going to get it done. Not going to get it done. Glad he made the All-Star team, his second All-Star team. Good for him. But, dude, you can't be trusted. I was sitting in a bar watching the game on Friday night. This guy was ready to leave. It was 3-1. He was getting ready to pay his check. He's ready to leave. They brought in Clay Holmes. He's like, oh, great. All right. Let me watch how this falls apart. And he was right. He was right. And then he was right. And he's like, he's going to give up a home run. He's going to give up a bomb. And sure as shit, bam, fucking shot. He can't get anybody out. He reminds me of Tim Hudson back in the day. When Tim Hudson was on the Braves, he had no problem getting a guy to 1-2 count and 0-2 count. But he could not put anybody away. No. To the point where people would hit like their 6th or 7th foul ball and it's like, fuck it, I'm just going to throw him a fastball in the outside corner and hope for the best. And that's literally what happens. It's like when Holmes has it, he has it. But when he does it, you know right away. You know in the first batter if he's got it or not. He's not closer material. He's just not.
No. It's a far cry from Mariano Rivera. It's a far cry from David Robertson. The 1 year that David Robertson filled in for Mariano Rivera once he retired. So it's a long way away. You know, Clay Holmes gives Yaja. But that's the thing. He's a ground ball pitcher. He relies on contact. So he's not going to be Josh Hader. If that's what you wanted, you should have got Josh Hader. He was available.
Yeah. Who's playing like trash too.
Right. So maybe that's a guy you buy low on. Maybe that's a guy that you can acquire because you buy low. So I think that finding somebody, good luck. The irony of ironies would be if they reacquire Aroldis Chapman and push Clay Holmes back to the 8th inning. Like, that would be fucking insane. But it's within the realm of possibility. Because if the Pirates bottom out, Chapman is an arm that can easily be moved. So, you know, there could be a couple of reunions. I mentioned David Robertson before. They could beat the Mets to David Robertson and deal with the Rangers. The Rangers, they're not shying away from the fact that certain veteran players are going to be available. So guys like Scherzer, guys like Robertson, they can be had. So you're in this thing. You're clearly in this thing. The Yankees are in second place in their division. They're in this thing. They've completely friggin' gone off a cliff, but they're still in contention.
Now everybody makes the playoffs. It's not like they're not going to make the playoffs. They'll get there.
No, they'll have to go through the wild card round, but they'll definitely be there. But the question is, you have Cole, and then it's a huge drop to number 2, Rodon. There's a huge drop to number 3 in Stroman, and then who's your 4? Nestor? No. Luis Gil, he's up against an innings limit. This is the most he's ever thrown in his career. This guy's probably going to have to get shut down, right? Clark Schmidt's on the 60-day IL, so that's a no. Okay, you get through, and the Yankees are so far up their analytics ass that third time through the order could be the 4th inning. They're like, oh, we got to pull our starter. We just fucked the bullpen. Congratulations. Now you got guys like Caleb Ferguson and Tim Hill and Josh Mashevsky and Michael Tonkin, who the Mets didn't even want. That's all you need to know. He got cast off by the Mets twice this year, and the Mets need bullpen desperately. Like, no, this guy fucking sucks. Get rid of him. Right. Luke Weaver has pitched prominent innings coming out of the Yankee bullpen. Like, this is the team that used to find guys like Jason Grimsley. They used to find guys like Tanyan Sturtz and like reclaim them and turn them into something. Right?
Give them a little extra to play better.
Well, that was Grimsley. Yeah, he was the one apparently allegedly supplying it. So, you know, we gotta watch those guys. But then you have like Tommy Kahnle. Like it's just not good. The drop off is so severe. But that's not even the biggest issue, right? Because now Rizzo's out. When Rizzo comes back, what the fuck is Rizzo? Right? What do you do with him? Because you're going to keep Ben Rice. Ben Rice has not demonstrated that he's incapable of doing this job. So you're left with guys who are redundant. You have Cabrera, Davis, LeMahieu, Glaber. Like, they're all redundant players. Like, what the hell are you going to do? You need a catcher. Jose Trevino is decent at best. Right? I mean, I know he won a platinum glove, but that's it. That's it. Austin Wells, he's not ready to be a major league hitter right now. No. And then you got the outfield. The immortal Jahmai Jones and Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham, who should be fucking cut today. Like that friggin'... Did you see that play? That ground... that single to center field that he lollygagged and
you sent it to me.
It turned into a fucking double. That's ridiculous. Like, Grisham...
Aaron Boone didn't seem to think it was a big deal.
That's bullshit. I'm calling... No, absolutely not. That is absolute bullshit. You turned a single into a double because you lollygagged. And, you won a gold glove. This guy's got a gold glove. So what's a gold glove worth these days? So, you have Judge, you have Soto, you have Verdugo, and then you got a whole lot of nothing. So, you have so many needs. I don't even know what the first one is. This is like one of the worst good teams, the worst allegedly good teams we've seen in quite a while. So
who hired this crew?
I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here. Like, the record doesn't match. The whole is way different than the sum of its parts. And
the math ain't mathin'.
The math ain't mathin'. No, absolutely not. The math ain't mathin'. But I'm calling the Rangers. I'm seeing what I can get. I'm calling the Marlins. Like, Tanner Scott's available. Jazz Chisholm is available. Which gives me pause. Like, he's 20-something years old. He's a speedster. Why the hell is he available? Like, this is a guy that you want to build around. Why are the Marlins making this dude available? That's a red flag, in my opinion. It would be like the Royals saying, hey, we'll give you Bobby Witt Jr. Oh, sure, of course, yeah. Like, what's wrong with him? You're kicking the tires on the Blue Jays. Like, you're kind of monitoring their situation. You're looking, maybe you can pick off a guy like Matt Chapman from the Giants. Like, there are moves you can make in a couple weeks. right now, you have 6 days, 6 games till the All-Star break. You are not doing ugats right now. You're just trying to make it there, and then you're figuring out where you go. Bullpen's in need, bench is in need, third base is in need, second base is in need, catcher is in need, starting rotation behind Garrett Cole is in need. Throw a dart, see what you can get, and remember, you're the New York Yankees. You can absorb money. Remember that. You can do that. It's not ideal, but you can absorb money. You think that I'm sure the Angels would love it if you could take Anthony Rendon off their hands. I'm sure they would love that. So remember who you are. You're the team with deep pockets. So let's not forget that. Speaking of let's not forget that, the All-Star game's coming up, and the MLB All-Star selections have been made. I cannot be any less interested in the game. Like, that's me. I don't know about you, but I can't be any less interested. But who should Major League Baseball fans look forward to seeing in this exhibition game for those that can?
Yeah, I mean, I do like the Major League Baseball All-Star game. It's one of the few that I do watch. I like the Baseball All-Star game and the NHL All-Star game are worth watching. You got a lot of first-timers, which is fun. Logan Webb making his first appearance is just a surprise to me. So in the American League, you got to tune in for Gunnar Henderson. You got to tune in for Juan Soto. He's must-see TV. Adley Rutschman, he's killing it for my fantasy team. Tanner Houck, I mean, if you haven't gotten a chance to see that guy pitch, he pitches very well. Tarek Skubal and Logan Gilbert, a must-see TV. Guys that don't get a lot of national exposure, and they're very good. On the National League side, can you believe this? William Contreras, man, that guy was a Brave. They let him go to the Brewers. He's now an all-star for the Brewers. Unbelievable. Hunter Green, Tyler Glasnow, his first year. It's impressive. Paul Skeens, you don't deserve to start, but you should, get some national acclaim and let everybody see you pitch. Ranger Suarez, man. Ranger Suarez is for real. The Phillies are for real. Half of the fucking Phillies team is going to the All-Star game. They're probably going to the World Series this year in that division. So those are the guys I like. Those are the guys people should tune in for. I'm sure you agree with some of them.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. Between now and Sunday, lots of things can happen. For example, Zach Wheeler left his game today with lower back tightness. So he's on the All-Star team. He ain't pitching in the All-Star game. But no, as soon as
he also doesn't pitch for the Mets anymore. That's a shame.
Yeah, that's it. He would have been just as mediocre as he was when he was a Met. So there you go. So he's going to come back to earth. Don't worry. It's a matter of time. Just like Ranger Suarez. He's getting tattooed the last 2 starts. So that's always lovely. Paul Skeens probably is not going to pitch. But anybody of note is probably not going to pitch. Because if they fall on that Sunday, their teams are going to prioritize their game over the All-Star game. So they'll doff their little cap, and they'll sit in the dugout, and they'll enjoy the experience, but they're not going to play. This roster is not the final roster that you're going to get. For example, Lindor and Nimmo are somehow going to end up on this roster.
Ugh.
They're gonna. Now, hear me out. Here's why. You already mentioned injuries, right? So that is going to be an issue. You have multiple players, like you already mentioned Devers. They're going to need an injury replacement. The pitching staff, that is in flux. That's great that you were doing that, but still. As far as elected starters go, let's talk about elected starters for a second. I don't have a problem with a lot of the National League. Like, I get William Contreras, beat out Will Smith, so that's fine. Trey Turner only played 46 games this year. So, and the numbers, when you look at them, are not that impressive. So I would argue C.J. Abrams should be starting over him. C.J. Abrams was having a much better year than Trey Turner. So I have no problem having Trey Turner on the roster, but I don't feel like he should be starting. I don't feel like he's a deserving starter. A guy like Jerks and Provar, good for him, man. Like, he's been in the league for years, and he's finally
Yeah.
seemed to have put it all together in San Diego. So, good for him. And then you got a guy, like Vladdy Jr., that really, there isn't another first baseman. Like, come on now. He's okay. He's okay. It's just okay. And these guys are getting all-star spots. I get Marcus Semien has 12 home runs, but I think he's hitting like 220. Like, that's all-star material? Like, this doesn't woo me. This doesn't excite me, dude. Like, this is ridiculous. I find that it's absolutely ridiculous. And there are a couple of reasons why. One, every team needs a representative nonsense. No, not every team needs a representative. The Miami Marlins are the drizzling shits. They don't deserve...
Stop hating on the Marlins.
I will
trying to get them out of the league.
They stink. They stink. Do the Chicago White Sox, who are the worst team in Major League Baseball, do they deserve a spot? No. If Garrett Crochet earned a spot, great. But not just like, we're going to kick somebody else off because we need a White Sox. Like, come on now. That was like what's happened with the Rays for years. Oh, we need to put a Devil Ray on. Like, oh, the Devil Rays were one of the worst fucking franchises up until 2008. So you're stealing roster spots from more deserving people. And then the fan vote is fine for the last player in. Congratulations to Jordan Westbrook. Congratulations to Hunter Green. I'm fine with that. And then this idea of, like, the young star, like the Ellie De La Cruz. Yes, he's fast. That's all I got. He's a butcher in the field.
Oh, he hits pretty well, Z.
He's decent, but he's a butcher in the field. Like, he has an 8.9 WAR just because he can run. Like, Billy Hamilton must have an infinite WAR then, because that's all Billy Hamilton could do.
An infinite WAR.
It's got to be like, infinity square. So, a guy like Jackson Merrill as a rookie, cool, that's fine. You could argue that there are players that are more deserving. Like, you just mentioned Clay Holmes. Look at the eye test. Is Clay Holmes an all-star? No. Clay Holmes will give you a heart attack. Clay Holmes will absolutely give you a friggin' heart attack. Like, it just doesn't woo me. It doesn't woo me at all. And I'll go to my own guy, Pete Alonso. Good player. Christian Walker's better. Christian Walker's having a better year. Sorry.
Sorry, Charlie.
Sorry. So, and Pete is the only Met representative. So it's like, there are other guys. Like, I like Pete Alonso. I think he's a good player. He's not having a great year. There are other players that are more deserving. Now, the theory, and I'm just throwing this out there as a theory, the reason why he's there is because he's willing to do the home run derby. And I believe there's some truth to that, because Pete's always willing to, he's always willing to show off. Like, Pete knows what he's doing. Me hit ball hard, me hit ball far. That's what I'll do. That's what Pete Alonso's about. So, there's that scuttlebutt. It's much ado about nothing at the end of the day. I would rather, if I was a GM, if I was a manager, I'd rather my guy not go. To be perfectly honest with you, I would rather my guy go home, rest, and get ready for the second half of the season. That's more important. The game doesn't mean anything. It hasn't meant anything for a long time. Interleague play eroded the original meaning, and then they removed home field advantage, which eroded the secondary importance of this game. And what should you look forward to? I guess you want to look forward to the uniforms that they're going to wear, because now everybody wears American and National League uniforms instead of their home and road uniforms. It's a money grab. Like, okay, that's fine. You want to see Paul Skeens? That's cool. But I don't know. There's just nothing here for me. I care about the regular season. I care about competitive baseball. And this just doesn't move the needle for me. The Pro Bowl doesn't move the needle for me. The NBA All-Star Game doesn't move the needle for me. The NHL All-Star Game doesn't move the needle for me. it's just not I'm just not the guy that they're marketing to. But if you can find something there to hang your hat on, cool. If it's a celebrity softball game, great. If it's Pete Alonso, like in the home run derby, that's cool. That's fine. But you know what? Wake me up on Thursday when the second half starts. I'll be rested, unlike some of my players.
When owning a home, it's important to have heating and cooling professional available when things go wrong. Air Care Technicians is a veteran-owned HVAC company servicing the Westchester area. They are licensed to service, repair, maintenance, and replace all HVAC units. If your unit is not running properly or you would like to improve the air quality in your home, contact Air Care Technicians for a free quote. They offer same-day and emergency services for all of your needs. You can reach them at 914-315-1547. Air Care Technicians, 914-315-1547.
It's time for the mail route on the Fade Route. And if you want to be featured, hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com, or slide in our DMs on IG at Fade Route Podcast, or drop us a line on X at Fade Route DNZ.
Note sent.
All right, boys and girls, we have a full mailbox here today. And if you, yes, you want to send us an email, hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com, or slide into our DMs at Fade Route Podcast on IG, or drop us a line on X at Fade Route DNZ, and you can get your message on the show. Our first email comes from Carter in Santa Rosa, California. Christian McCaffrey was the only running back to rush for over 1,200 yards last season. Will there be any 1,200-yard rushers in 2024?
Can you believe that?
That's insane.
That is just, it's insane, right? I mean, when you think about it, if
forget
you go back
2000. Forget 2000.
Forget 2000. We're not even. If you go back to 2003, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 guys rushed for over 1,200 yards in 2003. And fast forward to 2023, and it's one guy, and he's a white dude.
CMC 1.2K.
So I'm gonna say yes, there will be. I think CMC will do it again. And I believe one other player will do it again. So I think there'll be two guys. If I had to bet my money on it, I'd say him and Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry.
Really?
I think Derrick Henry is going to have a big season with the Ravens.
Interesting. It's how the mighty have fallen, right? Like 1,200 yards doesn't seem like a lot. Like 1,200 yards seems like.
Remember
nothing.
CJ2K?
Yeah, I remember CJ2K, and then he went to the Jets. I remember. So how can you forget? But 1,200 yards is not a lot for running back terms. So it's hard for me to even say that he'll approach that again. Right? Last year, everything broke very well for him in terms of health. Right? McCaffrey, that's his bugaboo. If he has surpassed that, if he has gotten past that, absolutely he can do this. Right? Other teams, not so much, because they're going to be relying on a two-back system. Like we said a couple weeks ago, this is a one-back system, and Elijah Mitchell is just there to give him a breather. Like, it's the 99-1. Like, that's it. Like, Elijah Mitchell maybe getting like 1% of the carries. So Christian McCaffrey is definitely the guy who can do it. Some outside dark horse candidates. Josh Jacobs. I mean, dude did win a rushing title. So I think that's a possibility. Either one of the guys on the Steelers, either Harris or Warren, like they can definitely, they're talented enough to do it. If they, it depends on what they do, but David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs, like both of them are supremely talented. If one kind of overtakes the other and makes it more of a one-back system, they can definitely get it done. But the landscape of the running back position in the NFL is such that it doesn't really look like this is going to be a thing, right? It's been devalued. They've been involved more in the passing game. You may have seen the best of the running back position, right? And certainly devalued when it comes to contract time. So Christian McCaffrey is definitely, as of right now, an island unto himself, and then maybe some other guy can come onto that island, but not yet. Email number 2 comes from Scott in La Jolla, California. Bronny James played his first Summer League game last week and had a triple single. He's now injured and unlikely to play the next few games. Big deal, little deal, or no deal at all?
It's no deal. Him playing is no deal. Bronny James is no deal. This whole situation is no deal. I don't want to talk about this kid. Doesn't matter. We all know why he's there, and it's just whatever. Like he's gonna have several DMPs this year. If he even makes the team, he seems like he's G League material. Whatever.
I have to agree. I have to say it's no deal. This is a kid who should still be in college, and he's not.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah. Like this is a situation where I don't know if it was pressure to come out, or like you said last week, if he just assessed that this was the best he was going to become and just kind of took it from there. I don't know, but he may eventually become a decent player. He may eventually become a good rotation player in the NBA, but as of right now, no. Triple single, 7.9 million, 5.4 guaranteed. No, thank you. Like this is not, this is no deal. Like this is absolutely like back end of a G League roster numbers. But the only reason why we're talking about it is because he's Bronny James.
Right.
And the only reason why we're talking about that is because he's LeBron James' kid.
Right.
Like if his name was Jonathan James and he wasn't related to LeBron, would we be talking about him right now? Absolutely not. Like we may be saying, why isn't this kid still in college? Like that would be a fair question. Why isn't this kid like trying to get better at a level of competition that is, appropriate? But this is on the job training, and Bronny is going to learn one way or the other what he's made of, what he can do, and what is expected of him at this level. But until the lights are on bright, I think we're done with Bronny for the foreseeable future. Your favorite podcast has its own merch line now. Go to the Fade Store with DNZ.com today and check out our releases in apparel, accessories, drinkware, and more. Ever wanted an Alleged Superstar t-shirt? We got those. You want some yoga pants? We got those too. And we're not done yet. We have a lot of exciting collaborations and new products on the way. But check out what we have now at the Fade Store with DNZ.com. That's the Fade Store with DNZ.com. Who's the best of the worst this week in sports? The Fade Store presents the Alleged Superstar of the Week Award. All right, boys and girls, you know what time it is. It's time for the Alleged Superstar of the Week. You know how it goes. We put up a poll on our X account at FadeRouteDNZ and our Instagram poll at FadeRoute Podcast. And you vote, and you vote, and you vote, and you vote. And the winner of said vote gets a shout out on this here show and takes home the coveted ass trophy. And do you know who took home the coveted ass trophy last week, D?
I don't.
Jamarcus Russell. That was a slam dunk, man. Wait, no, you make out the check to Jamarcus Russell. I will donate it for you.
I got you, bro.
I got you. I spotted it.
I got you.
We're all good.
I just got this weird thing going on with bank account right now. I just need you to make it out to me, and I'll take care of it from here, man. Focus.
Oh my god. Oh god. Gullible. Not even a gullah cat.
Gullible. Not even. I was about to say, not even a gullah cat.
A gullible. A full-on gullible. But that was last week. This is this week. Who are your nominees for Alleged Superstar of the Week, D?
No, that's a very good question. Where are my Alleged Superstars? Okay, here we go. First up, I've got Cubs reliever Colton Brewer.
Yes.
After allowing 3 runs on the .2 innings pitch, you broke your hand when you punched the wall in frustration. Good one going, Colton.
You schmuck.
Colton Brewer, you are my Alleged Superstar of the Week. Next up, I've got the Detroit Pistons. You gave Cade Cunningham a $224 million max extension for what? Just because he's your best player on a bad team does not earn you a max rookie deal. Detroit Pistons, you are my Alleged Superstars of the Week. And number 3, I've got the Boston Red Sox. For letting Chris Sale go to the Braves this season, Sale is currently the Braves' best pitcher with an 11-3 record and a 2.71 ERA, likely to start the All-Star game. He's an All-Star, Dave. Thanks, Boston. What do you got, Z?
Oh, all good choices. You got some of mine. I tried to sneak him through, but you got
Did
both.
you really?
Yeah, I tried. I was going. Colton Brewer. I wanted Colton Brewer, and
the Pistons.
And the Pistons. 30% of your fucking salary cap dedicated to Cade Cunningham. Are you crazy? Are you absolutely
Cade
crazy?
Cunningham must have thought it was a joke when they fucking told him what they were going to give him. He was like, really?
Sure.
All right, sure, I'll play here.
Well, as Billy
play here for the rest of my life.
Well, wise man once said, when you get the answer you want, hang up.
Hang up.
I'm going to start with Brazil. The Brazilian national... Brazil. This is Brazil. The Brazilian national team bowed out of Copa America, and it's living on reputation at this point. Yep, no Neymar, no Vinny, no shot. Brazilian national team, you are my Alleged Superstar of the Week. Number 2, Trent Grisham. Single to center field, easy peasy. Field the ball, get it back into second base, no problem. Butchered the shit out of play because you were being lazy. Just bent over to pick the ball, clank, turned it into a double. And then afterwards, and this is a double whammy, I'm going to lump Aaron Boone into this. So Trent Grisham and Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone was due to be on here at some point. So Aaron Boone, post-game, saying, I don't have a problem with his effort. Excuse me? I don't have a problem with not hustling? I suppose not, because you defend Gleyber Torres all the time. It's like, dude. God, Robbie Cano would have loved to play for you. Shit. It's like, Robbie just plays so effortlessly, man. What are you gonna do?
Manny being Manny.
It's just Robbie being Robbie. It's just Robbie being Robbie. It's just Trent being Trent. Oh, Jesus Christ. Terrible. Trent Grisham and Aaron Boone, you are my co-Alleged Superstar of the Week. And then last but not least, Luis Robert. Fly ball to center field. Runner on third. The winning run on third. You catch the ball and then proceed to just lob it into the field. No attempt to throw the runner out. Not even gonna try to preserve the game and take it into extra innings. Just gonna punt. Like, fuck it, we lost. But you didn't lose. The game was tied, dude. The game was tied. And a little bit of effort from you just a little bit of effort, could have sent the game into extra innings. And, stranger things have happened. The White Sox have won games this year. So
it has happened before.
Yes. We win today. We win tomorrow. That's 2 in a row. We win the day after that. It's called a winning streak. So stranger things have happened. And you are one of the lone trade chips that the White Sox have. Who is going to call and say, yes, I want that guy on my team? Another wise words from Little Big League. As soon as we find somebody dumb enough to take you, that's exactly what we're going to do. So, way to run your way out of Chicago, way to diminish your own trade value.
Sounds like Anthony Rendon.
Oh my God. So you're saying he's a bitch. So
you're saying I'm a bitch.
So you're saying I'm a bitch. Anthony Rendon is back from the IL, mind you. Congratulations. Welcome back, Anthony. So you're saying I'm a bitch.
Hasn't changed.
Oh.
So you're saying I'm a bitch. What?
Nobody said that. Absolutely
nobody said that.
So you're saying I'm a bitch. Oh my God. Luis Robert, you're not a bitch, but you are my alleged superstar of the week. I think we've said our piece. Go to our X account at FadeRouteDNZ. Go to our Instagram poll at FadeRoute Podcast and vote. And vote and vote and vote. And for our nominees. You're better than that. Just do better. Just do better.
This has been the Fade Route with DNZ. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Catch our podcast on Wednesday nights on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your podcast. So until next time, stay fade, everyone.
Time for us to run the go route. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you liked what you heard and you want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a review, rate us 5 stars, turn on subscription notifications, and share on social media. Tell your friends and spread the word.